Happy screen time, and thank you for subscribing for daily tips and road tomfoolery about Pokemon Sleep. We're calling today Speculation Sunday, and I'm going to bring you my most educated guesses using all the pre-search I've done and a dash of my hopes and dreams to make my final guesses about what is coming to Pokemon Sleep this week. Check your game for the exact time, but maintenance is coming. And that means the data miners will start doing what they do best. Enter the mines. Some very tech-savvy people in the Pokemon Sleep community will be looking at the code that gets released and bringing to the community information about what's changing in the game with the update. We anticipate that this means before players can get to the old gold power plant in the game, that there will be more information about the new Pokemon, including their skills and specialties, as well as the new recipes being added, and maybe even more information about what Pokemon will be at Old Gold Power Plant besides the newly announced ones. We'll be covering everything that we can find about this on the channel, so feel free to subscribe and come back when we have actual info. But today I'm gonna just take my wild guesses, which I think are relatively reasonable, and if I end up being right, come back and shout me out, or leave a comment on someone else's video saying, iBenBrown predicted this. And if I'm wrong, go ahead and put me on blast. This is the true nature of the internet after all. And before you leave for the day, please drop your own wild speculations in the comments. I'm interested to know what you think is going to be happening. Specifically today, I'm going to drop my predictions about the new Pokemon. And depending on how long that takes to tell you, I might give you some other predictions. Let's start with Aron. Predicting that he will have blueberries seems to be low-hanging fruit. I believe it will be metal type and will be an ingredient specialist. I believe that Aron will model Larvitar and Dratini. I believe one of its ingredients will be rousing coffee, but I believe it will be an ABB build and be the max coffee producer from level 60 and beyond. I'll go ahead and say bean sausage for that first slot ingredient, and while I'm not exactly sure what it is, I feel like I can rule a lot of them out, namely that its first two ingredient slots will not overlap with Larvitar or Dratini, will not touch any of the ingredients that the Paldean starters just became known for being good for, nor will it outclass Quagsire, nor will it have Slowpoke tails. Anything else is probably fair game, but I think the mono build version and ABB with B being rousing coffee will become the top tier ingredient build of whatever those ingredients are. I also think we could reasonably conclude that it will be an ingredient specialist because we have Magnemite as the token skill Pokemon of metal types, and I'm sure it will be at the power plant as well. And although it is hard to obtain, Steelix is already a berry specialist for the blueberry, and one of my bold predictions here will be that Onix will be available at the power plant, but available at a lower drowsy power than it is at Taupe Hollow. I also think Aron's skill will be Charge Energy S, just like Larvitar and Dratini. Let's move on to Shinx. Shinx is going to be the most underwhelming part of this release. Shinx will also be an ingredient specialist. It will have rousing coffee in its first slot, but will be outclassed by the Aron line at level 60, just like Stuffle and Dratini came in with the corn. There is no way that they put in another electric berry specialist because Pikachu is the poster child of Pokemon. Electric types in the game also have two signature Skillmons, Ampharos and Dedenne, so I have a hard time imagining that it will be a Skillmon. And you're gonna hate the next prediction if it's right, and the community will be insufferable. But I'm going to predict that the main skill here is going to be Extra Helpful S. I'm sorry, that's just what my gut's telling me. I told you this would be underwhelming. And last but certainly not least, is the Grubbin line. I believe that Grubbin will be a bug type and all of its evolutions will be a bug type. I also believe it will have honey as the ingredient in its first slot and rousing coffee as an option for its second slot. But Grubbin will be a skill specialist, so the ingredients won't matter so much. And this might be a bold prediction, but I believe that Grubbin and its evolution line will be Tasty Chance S main skill. This will introduce a Pokemon that we can use for Tasty Chance without having to invest main skill seeds to make that main skill stronger. And if I happen to be right about this, then it should probably be the top priority for players to hunt who are not going to be at the Old Gold Power Plant outright. Let me now rapid fire some other predictions. One new recipe in each type will be the most ingredients required of any dish, and beyond the expanded pot that we can upgrade to, will require a good camp ticket or expanding pot main skills in order to make it. This might sound like a bold prediction, but not all of the 6 recipes introduced will include rousing coffee. Just a total guess here again, but after I had recorded what my other prediction was, I went back and re-recorded to say this. Other Pokemon that I think will be available at Old Gold Power Plant include the Pikachu line, the Diglett and Cubone lines, Wooper and Quagsire, Swablu and Altaria, Raikou, and the Fuecoco line. And there's gonna have to be more, but I would be surprised to not see any of those. Oh yes, and Dedenne should make another appearance. Oh, and the Marip line, of course. But I actually want to say about Dedenne, I bet it will be easier to hunt at the power plant than it is to hunt on Lapis Lakeside today. And while these represent my official, unofficial predictions, I would just like to say that I want Aron to be a berry specialist, and that I want Shinx to be a meta-breaking honey producer, even with rousing coffee in its first slot. But that's enough of that. Let's get on to session 426, which has to be underwhelming compared to yesterday, right? But we'll certainly see if my end table is able to get us anything good with this slumbering session. This is definitely the highest Snorlax strength and drowsy power that I've ever had at Lapis Lakeside. So I hope we can enjoy this momentous occasion together. Alright. Man, doesn't everyone just hope Wobbuffet's gonna be at the power plant? Wouldn't that be so awesome? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 out of 8 means we might have gotten anywhere from 1 to 3 new sleep styles. Because we know Select Button likes to be tricky. Oh, it's Gallade's Surf's Up sleep. I mean, cutting sleep, of course. Now Gallade, that is a name I haven't heard in a long time. Gallade, are you ready for your brother Shinx and his family to join you with your main skill that everybody hates in this game? Oh, look at that, it's Bayleaf. Stretching sleep, how creative. I know every sleep style can't be a winning name. Oh, okay, it's just 1 star, then we'll let him have it. 1 stars are not meant to be fancy. And let's target for the 3rd. Oh, it's just another one that we already caught. More stretching, more Bayleaf. Alright, now who are we going to catch today? There is actually only 1 Pokemon on this list that I'm really interested in acquiring. And let me just make sure that that's really the case and I didn't overlook anything. Alright, then I guess our choice is you, Stuffle. We will drop you a premium biscuit. We paid good money for it. And we will give you a Poke Biscuit if you must. Now, for those of you who may not have seen some other videos, first let me say shame on you, go back and watch these from the start. I'm working really hard to bring you these good jokes. And sorry for those of you who do already know this, but we're actually hoping to see corn, bean sausage on our Stuffle. Yo, Neroli. We have a great Dragonair to cover corn for us that will be a Dragonite soon enough. Oh man, our streak of getting Dratinis and Dragonairs has ended today. Friends don't send friends Wobbuffet candy, but anything else here is forgivable. I think the most universally useful will be the Bayleaf. But because all of my friends are strangers from Reddit, except for the couple of you who are watching Hey What's Up, I wouldn't know if I'm sending good candies anyway. So I guess my goal will be to find them, to tell them, stuff of luck. Whether this Stuffle is what we're looking for or not, it is going to live in our box, because we don't have another one right now. ABA ingredients is not what we're looking for. In fact, the Beware we invested in way too early already has this, which is why I have not let it get to level 30. But it could be fun at Lapis Lakeside with Berry Finding S, Helping Speed S, and nothing else worth mentioning. This Stuffle is seriously corny, at least more corny than we want. Oh well, that was fun. Let's do this again sometime. Happy researching.